Let's go.
Don't tell me again, Afton. Another fine for the homie Tate. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, Steel Curtain Network, Know It All Nation, thanks for tapping in to another Wednesday night, New Year's Eve episode of the Pump Your Brakes podcast. I'm your boy Tate, one of three tonight. One of three most nights. Big G's not here. We upgraded Big G. We got Afton in the building with us. Afton, what's up?
Not much. Just looking forward to doing a show with Shannon again.
I don't know if you know, Afton. I've been doing this about 4 years with Shannon. The experience is highly overrated, but he is a triple OG. Shannon,
man.
what's up, man? Happy New Year on the way. Merry Christmas. I think last time we talked officially was Christmas Eve. You were headed to an anniversary party for your uncle's and aunt's 60th wedding anniversary. I know that went well. You had a good holiday, did you?
Awesome Christmas and blessed. And so we've had already had the Steelers hangover on Monday, so was able to vent a lot then. So hopefully it won't be as bad tonight.
Okay. So you guys got any plans this evening? As we are T-minus 5 hours and 50 minutes till 2026.
We'll just be hanging out as a family. My mom will come up and we'll just ring in the new year together. And we got a waffles at midnight tradition.
Waffles?
Waffles at midnight, yes.
How long you been doing?
It's been a few years now. I don't remember how long, but it just one night everybody was hungry. My wife started making waffles, so now we do it on after midnight every time.
That's
awesome.
A neat family tradition, man. It is. I mean, and it's original, as far as I know.
Yeah, I mean, it just happened. The next year, like, well, you know what I want to do? So
make some waffles, eat some waffles. I used to eat waffles after midnight, but it didn't have to be New Year's. It just had to be Waffle House was the only thing open after the bar late at night.
Exactly.
But yeah, we talked after we shared our holidays on the last show. Pump your brakes. I mean, smash the gas. We talked about what we did. Afton had her grandma's recipe rum cake, and Shannon, the fancy digs out there in Afton's way, they had prime rib and crabs for holiday dinner.
I know she said that's what they were going to have. That sounded delicious.
Yeah, it did. I'm kind of hungry right now because I just got back last night. I need to go to the store. Didn't go today. Got a late start. Started watching football all day and waiting for Ohio State plays at 7:30. So I didn't go into the store in the morning. We're going to take my nieces and nephews their birthday gifts, Christmas gifts tomorrow because I was going in the morning. My sister and her husband, their family are having dinner, invited us, but too much football going on. I'm not coming to a dinner. I said, I'll come in the morning, bring the kids their stuff, and we can order breakfast, but I'm out of there by 11:30, so I can come home and start watching football for the day, all those big bowl games. But yeah, so those are my plans. Tonight I'll be watching Ohio State, and that's it. So there we go. But guys, we talked about the Steelers, and we got this big matchup this week. I'm calling it, and a lot of people are, the AFC North championship game because that's what it comes down to. And, so we're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back to talk about the matchup, the game, how we got here is important, and what it looks like, and give our score predictions at the end of what we think this game is going to be and who'll get that number 4 playoff seed in the AFC. So if you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We're not going anywhere. If you're listening on the audio platform, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. We'll be right back after this on the Steel Curtain Network and Know It All's channel. We'll be right back. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. I'm your boy Tate in the building with Triple OG Shannon White in the building and Afton here with us. So we kind of mentioned it real quick. Let's talk about the matchup. So Steelers played Baltimore for a third time this year. Last year we played them. No, we played them for the second time. It just seems like a playoff game because it's playoffs. It's the second time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it feels like the third time because last year we did play them 3 times. We got mopped in the playoffs last year. This is like a playoff kind of atmosphere, I would think. I hear a lot of Steelers fans. I see Joey Porter, senior on social media. He has the Porter's Corner tailgate party with a lot of former Steelers and stuff, and serving up lots of foods. It goes to charities, one of his charities or something. So it's in parking 1A. If you know where that is, you're going to the game. Check out Joey Porter and the Pouncey brothers and some other former Steelers that'll be there. Check that out. But yeah, so they're trying to get everybody hyped going into the building. Shannon, we've talked about this before, how some of these critical big matchups and stuff, Steeler fans don't show up. So that'll be my first question to you, Shannon. Do you think Steeler fans, Steeler Nation will show up Sunday night, the last game of the 2025 football season, regular season game, Steelers-Ravens? NFL can ask for a better matchup because it's for everything, right? It's like win or go home. So you think fans will show up, Shannon? Steeler fans?
Yeah, I think they'll show up. I think it'll start out, if they're competitive, it'll be loud. It's going to be loud. If they play bad, the boo birds is going to come out. The Fire Tomlin chants might get started up again, which I really thought was beneficial. And I said on the Hangover Monday night that I thought the attitude he had coming off the field with the guys there, Rodgers and Cam, out of Detroit, I thought he didn't seem quite as humble as he had the previous 3 weeks. And I think that I said it's a little too early to celebrate. They haven't accomplished nothing yet. And then I said, if they do another Tomlin special, which is what we got Sunday, a lot of factors go into that. Metcalf suspension, injuries, not wanting to give up the sack record to Garrett, just dominated the game planning, obviously, and not in a good way. So we'll talk about it a little later in the show, but there's things the Steelers are going to have to do different this week. Thankfully, Myles Garrett doesn't play for Baltimore, and their pass rush is not very good. So I think it's a little bit better matchup that way. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to see the last game of the year end up being a loss to the Ravens and having all those chants and fire Tomlin again. That would be disastrous for the Steeler organization. I don't think the Roonies want that either.
Agreed. Afton, Steeler fans show up?
I think it's questionable. They might show up early, but if they start out the way they started out last week, I could see a lot of them leaving.
I don't think they leave. I think they stay and turn on Tomlin and the Steelers both. I think they're going to get their money worth. It's either going to be cheering them on to the playoffs or saying GTFO, all of you.
Well, I don't know. That might depend on the weather.
Yeah. Either you know the forecast for Sunday night?
I can find out real fast.
See, I love having Afton, Shannon. So much more productive than Big G.
Well, it's definitely going to be. It's definitely a winter game. You know, there will be an impact that way. And as I said the other day, with Boswell starting to show, a little yips here at the end of the year, which is not good.
Right? Yeah.
Sunday about. Yeah, it'll be in the low 20s, chance of snow.
Ooh.
Like Sunday I said, night. It's going to be wintry. Yeah.
It's going to be that That is the 4th. The 4th, right?
Mm-hmm.
4th of January.
Yeah, the 4th.
it's
Yeah.
cold. It's cold in Pittsburgh in January. So we know that to be true. So okay, so we talked about the crowd. Let's talk about the injuries. So what's the latest on Lamar Jackson? I saw was he limited today in Baltimore practice? I
I haven't checked on him since this morning.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure
I kept up with the Steelers injuries. I did because again, I don't really think Lamar matters that much. You see what the Ravens look like.
Crazy to say, but I agree with you, Shannon.
I think the Ravens looked much better against the Packers because they had the mobile quarterback still in Huntley, but they just kept feeding Henry. And a lot of times that's what stops the Ravens is either he fumbles and they punish him or they go away from him because Lamar's gets in his bag. And what scares me about the Ravens is them putting 300 on you in a running game. And they really are accomplished rushing attack. So I'm not as worried about Jackson playing, especially the way the weather's going to be. It's probably going to be a lot of whoever runs the ball more effectively and stops the run more effectively is going to win.
We got a super chat from Steeler Reaper. Thanks, Steeler Reaper, for the $4.99. We certainly appreciate you. Thanks for tapping in. Join us on this last Pump Your Brakes episode of 2025. We appreciate you. Hopefully next time we talk to you, next Wednesday, it'll be as we prepare to host a playoff game. The first one in a few years, I believe, since 2020 against Cleveland was the COVID year. Nobody was able to even go. So it would be nice if everybody showed up. Steeler Reaper, super chat. Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for another great year of football talk. Throw the move. Great point. We'll talk about that in just a second. That's what Smash the Gas was about. The weapons the Steelers do have and how we think they should try and implement them. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. Thanks for bringing that up. My 901 homie, our 901 homie, Reginald Rivers in the building down in Bartlett, Tennessee. What up, Red? Shout out to you. Happy New Year. Mark Tobin, what up? What up? What up? Happy New Year to you as we get ready to bring in another one. Mark Malone says, man, seeing what we look like without DK scares the crap out of him. Mark, yeah, we said this all year. We thought it would be injury. We didn't know it would be suspension. But yes, an obstacle and adversity the Steelers need to overcome. They have to overcome. Forget need. If they want to go on, they have to overcome it. So we'll talk about what that looks like here in a minute. We're going to touch on a lot of the key stuff going on in the game. So with that being said, I don't know if Lamar played. I think Huntley played well last week against Green Bay. Really well. But the key to the game, as Shannon alluded to, Derrick Henry, that king monster, he ran for 200 plus and 4 touchdowns. I looked up and I knew I was playing him. I didn't think in my fantasy football league I was playing against him. The Joker had 53 points. Man, I was like, I'm done. But then I had Brock Purdy as my quarterback. He brought me back. I needed 9 points from Kyle Pitts on Monday night and didn't get that, so I lost the championship second place. Big G wasn't in it, so you guys don't worry about him. He was like 10th, 11th place. But yeah. So I mean, Shannon, go to you. We not to talk about this already. Go to you. What does Steelers need to do on offense?
Well, like I was saying earlier, what irritates me so bad is, and again, another reason I don't want Tomlin over the rebuild is because he loves veterans. He wants veteran quarterbacks. He wants veteran players. He don't want any mistakes that come with youth. But here, when you ever needed Roman Wilson, it's now. Now, we've seen Roman Wilson catch a couple of touchdown passes, make a couple of plays here and there, but they went away from him totally. Rodgers did not create a chemistry with him, and he wants his old guys.
And that was the thing with Rodgers in Green Bay and other places, well, New York, that the young guys, he really doesn't like to work with them.
Oh, yeah, they kept Randall Cobb around. I think he was on SSI. I mean, it just – he likes those guys. But if the best guy you got – and they kept saying, well, they need MVS to make a play. They need MVS. If that's who you're counting on, call him skillet hands, whatever you want to say. He's not good. Thielen, we see why he was available. He has no separation. He's lost what burst. You need that little bit to get open. And he's okay. Is number receiver 3, 4, or 5. But you can't be, when you elevate these guys up a rung on the ladder, they're not capable. And he had nobody to throw to. So this week, I don't think Roman Wilson needs to be somehow involved in the passing attack. But you're going to have to get Muth more involved, not the last drive of the game. He's going to have to be involved throughout. You're going to have Gainwell and Warren on the field at the same time. Gainwell is like a slot receiver, so you can line him up anywhere. You throw to him out of the backfield. You throw to him out of the slot. Put him outside a wide receiver. He's better than anything else you got. And Warren can catch the ball too. They're going to have to be more creative this week, even against the Ravens defense. Let's be honest, it's not as good as Cleveland. But they're going to have to have an actual game plan this week, something they did not have against the Browns.
I agree. And Afton and I with Kirby kind of talked about that on the last show. We alluded to everything you said, every single thing you said. I mean, Roman Wilson needs to be more opportunities. He's the most talented wide receiver in the room, minus DK Metcalf. Maybe even more talented than Calvin Austin from a talent perspective, because he's a bigger guy and more approved at a Division I level. So I think he's the second most talented guy in the room is not getting an opportunity. You got to get over all the other stuff and put your talent on the field. We agree with go 2-back sets because Warren and Gainwell are 2 of your most explosive weapons you have at your disposal. Muth, Kirby said need 15 targets. I kind of pumped the brakes on him like 15, like 10. Yeah, I agree with you, 10. 15 is a lot, Kirby. I mean,
Well, it really depends on how do the Ravens play him. Yeah. I mean, like, as we've seen the Steelers not adjust to the tight end usage before through the years or running back usage. And, I remember the Patriots threw to Kevin Falk in the playoff game like 15 times. I mean, they just destroyed the Steelers because they refused to adjust and take that away. So, why beat your head against the center block wall? Take what's given. And if there's open field there and you're not going to cover the guy, throw it to him.
No, I agree. I mean, and that very well may be the Ravens' plans is to take Muth out. They know Muth is probably next up in the food chain in the passing game. Yep. I mean, so you'd have to, I think design some stuff for Jonnu, get him heavily involved. He gets his opportunity. Roman Wilson, Afton, we talked about it a little bit on the last show, but again, off what Shannon said, would you agree? What do you think about what he said and what some of your thoughts, if anything, different about the Steelers offense, what they need to do?
Well, I think we might also have Calvin Austin back this week, which could help. Although he is coming off a soft tissue injury and you know how those can linger. So who knows? But I agree that they need to reach into their bag of tricks and put some things together. And they need to keep it simple enough that the players can actually execute it. Like sometimes Arthur Smith is Uncle doing too much and he makes things too complicated. It happens on both sides of the ball, but in the offense particularly, like the offensive line has gotten a lot better. Like when Rodgers changes things up, changes protections or whatever at the line. They have gotten so much better. The first few games when he would change things up, like I think Frazier and McCormick particularly would miss their assignments. We can't have any of that this week. They have to communicate They have to have a good game plan, and then they have to go out and do the job.
No, I completely agree with what you're saying. I mean, because and you mentioned this on last show too. I mean, communication. We don't know what's being communicated at home watching on TV. Fans in the stadium know what's being communicated. But whatever the players are communicating with each other, it needs to be communicated clearly. Everybody needs to be on the same page. And then the second part of that, which key word you mentioned, execution. Everybody needs to execute. So if you know what you're supposed to do, just do it, do your job, and execute. So I agree with you there. Shannon, great point again. And I probably just mentioned it, but I think that's your best packages, 22 personnel, both those backs on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your to me, your biggest weapons are Warren, Gainwell, Muth, Jonnu Smith, and Roman Wilson. Bar none.
I have spoken a lot at length about the potential this offense has to be unique versus every other offense in the NFL because of the dominant size, speed, strength combination that DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington have. These guys are freaks. They are a mismatch against about anybody one-on-one. Well, the problem is now you don't have neither. So what give them a little bit of flavor, so to speak, as an offense this year, made them unique. I don't want to say special, but unique. They lost that on both of them guys, one suspension, one injury. So again, now they're going to have to play clean. They're going to have to avoid any penalties because they can't get behind the sticks. If they do, they're in trouble. They can't make these mistakes they've been making, running the ball with the wrong guy. Like Warren was having some success against the Browns, and they keep wanting to rotate in Gainwell. I love Gainwell. Get him in the passing game. Get him involved that way. And he had a few good runs, but Warren was really effective. And you don't move away from that just because you have a rotation. If he's getting 6, 7, 8 yard chunks, stick with it. They said, well, we didn't do the Spartan or whatever they call their tush push. They didn't do it there on that 4th and 1 where they threw the 50-50 go ball to the smallest receiver on the field. It's Scotty Miller. Why not do the tush push again with Connor Hayward? They said, well, Darnell Washington was out. It don't matter. You can use anybody for one play to come in to push him from behind. And you could use Cam. Cam could be pushing his brother. You could use Wyatt Black. They got a lot of guys that can do that. Just because it ain't like you're trying to fool nobody with personnel packages. When you line up for that 1 yard at the tush push, everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. In that case, but that was the odds of them being successful with that was twice as high as that go ball, down the sidelines to Miller. That's what I'm saying. They cannot make those kind of errors. That play's doomed before the snap. It's not about communication. It's not about execution in that instance. It's about somebody's ignoramus. I mean, that was just stupid. That was bad coaching all the way around.
No, I completely agree. And I didn't question going for it on 4th down. I questioned passing it. And exactly. I wondered if that was on Aaron Rodgers. But even if Aaron Rodgers, if it's you or play call, Arthur Smith, terrible play call. If you audible to it, terrible play call. Because you throwing this one-on-one coverage, but you throwing to Scotty Miller a fade route, not DK Metcalf. So right there, you kind of got your hand tied, and I feel like you like you said, Shane, it's mono at that point. Man on man, hat on hat. Are you gonna get this yard? Or are you not gonna get this yard? And
we have to wonder: is Aaron Rodgers a huge part of this problem? The reason why, if he checked out of it, and then he threw that that fade ball, very low percentage. Then the last 3 plays, he kept going back to MSV, matched up against Ward, who's made the Pro Bowl and is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And what did Big G call him? Skillet hands? I mean, you're asking him to make a back shoulder hands catch against the Pro Bowl quarterback when we all seen replays like hindsight 2020. Gainwell was wide open. I think Gainwell catching it at the 4 and getting in the end zone more than I will MSV showing hands he's never showed before.
Higher probability.
Yeah.
Again, that one comes down to not having 2 of your best weapons, let alone 2 of your 2 best red zone threats in DK Metcalf and Darnell Washington, not having them on the field. But definitely a bad decision. I think at that point, you got to go to Muth and Gainwell in that situation. So, yeah, and that wasn't about communication or execution. That was just about bad play calling.
But we've seen that all game. It was in the game plan. Do not let Myles Garrett break the sack record against the Steelers because they don't want TJ, but he's going to lose the record, but they didn't want it to be against them. Aaron Rodgers, he's never sacked Aaron Rodgers, and he wanted it bad, and Aaron Rodgers didn't want to let him sack him. So if you noticed, even on them last 3, he was getting the ball out. Like, sometimes you got to hold it a little bit. I would have let him get the sack, I'll be honest, in the first quarter. Because if he'd have got the sack, they'd have lost their mind. Everybody lost their mind. They'd have come back down to earth. He would have been invisible the rest of the game because he's already celebrating in his mind because we know what kind of guy he is. He's a selfish player. He's not a team first player. He would have probably lost energy and got winded from all the celebrating in his mind. And you know how he is. And but the Steelers did the exact opposite of what they should have done. Instead of focusing on winning the division and resting your guys this week, this game shouldn't matter. They're so overly concerned about that was the whole game plan. But I was concerned about it all week because that's all they talked about. Oh, not against us. We're not going to give it up. But, they're chipping him. He's lining up 10 yards wide. And they're sending Gainwell or whoever the running back is to chip him before he even gets to Cook. They could have took advantage of that running it where he's way outside like any other team would do. No, they were overly focused. Nobody's going to change my mind. They destroyed their chances to win this division out of pure stupidity. Started with Metcalf and that stupid maneuver he did to get suspended. Then they turned around and a lot of them made stupid decisions leading up to that Browns game. And, of course, now you got your other guy, Darnell Washington, who's a force, becoming a force, breaks his arm, he's out. I mean, it just hasn't been it's typical of what happens to Steelers at the end of the year.
Yeah. But if they win this game, they'll win 4 out their last 5 and have a playoff home game. So that's what we're hoping for. I agree with everything Shannon said. And you and Big G definitely agree. I think it was talked about because it was always going to be a thing to be talked about if he did it against the Steelers. Myles Garrett, that is, broke the record. And I think they overplayed it a little bit, but you always key on Myles Garrett when you talk about the Browns defense. You always put extra guys so he doesn't wreck the game. I mean, so maybe they went a little overboard with it. Maybe it was inflated a lot going into the game because it's against the Steelers and TJ Watt has the record and stuff. So I think a combination of all that is true. I don't know if it's just that, but that's behind us now. Now we got one.
I want to ask y'all a quick question, both of you, and our community. I was in a discussion since Monday's show because I said that Myles Garrett's not a great player. And everybody, see, now understand, I call great players legacy players, and they got a legacy to look back on. To me, awards, statistics, all that's fine. It's great. You can win, however many MVPs, but Lamar Jackson hasn't ever won anything. And I said before, when he wins the Super Bowl, then we'll talk about being a great player. Until then, you're a good player, puts up good statistics in the regular season. But championships are won in the postseason. And I do not think Myles Garrett is a great player. I think T.J. Watt has always been a much better player, a more complete player than Myles Garrett. Somebody said, no, Myles Garrett makes players better. No, he doesn't. He takes a lot of attention away, on the field because you have to account for him. And in that way, he helps. But I've never seen him be a great teammate. Sorry. I've seen him disappear in a lot of games. But here's my thing. If Myles Garrett would have got that sack record against the Steelers, would it really have mattered that much to anybody? A Steeler fan? Would that make you all of a sudden think he's a great player and what a winner and it changed the way we looked at the Cleveland franchise? No. They focused on the wrong thing.
Well, first of all, I don't care enough about Myles Garrett to pay any attention to how he is as a teammate. And second of all, I would much rather have a win than protect some record that doesn't affect championships.
Yeah.
I agree with Afton said. That's definitely true. I think T.J. Watt was a more complete player. Like Shannon said, I think Myles Garrett's the better player the past 2 years. You can be great and not have anything. I mean, he played for the Cleveland Browns. We all know how the Browns are. Doesn't take away from Nick Chubb how great he was during his time with the Browns. Now, Joe Thomas is one of the best tackles all time, but he played for a bad franchise. But if you look at his statistics, he's like 11 Pro Bowls in 12 years, and Joe Thomas is a really good player. They're just unfortunate to play for a really bad franchise. I mean, they didn't even get opportunities to play in the playoffs, Mm-hmm. I mean, so I think two things can be true. You have great players that play for bad teams. It takes a team to get those team accolades, and those players are more highly regarded because they have the team accolades and hardware, and they were probably a leader on those teams, just like these other guys we talking about that haven't won are leaders on losing teams, but still good players. But yeah, I don't care about the record either, Afton. I care more about the win and resting guys this week. To be damned if Myles Garrett got the record, meant nothing. Even if it was against the Steelers, meant nothing. So that's my thoughts on that. But with that being said, we're going to take our second break and be done with it and come back and talk about the defensive side of the ball and what the Steelers need to do to stop Derrick Henry, because that's going to be the key focus of this AFC Championship game matchup. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We're not going anywhere. If you're listening on the audio platform, we have to hear a few words from our partners and advertisers. We'll be right back after this on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. And we're back on the Pump Your Brakes podcast. We got Triple G Shannon in the building. We got Afton in the building. And myself, the homie Tate, here talking about the AFC North championship game. The Steelers did bad offensively last week and what they need to correct this week. Going into this matchup, we need to sweep the Ravens in order to secure a playoff spot. Didn't have to be like that, as Shannon and Afton were just talking about, but it is like that. So that's where we're at. The Steelers started the season 4-1. Buffalo started 1-4. And the Steelers kind of went in the tank and I believe lost 5 out of their next 7 games after that start to be 6-6 at one point. Then they won 3 in a row, and they blow this game against the Browns. So here we are sitting at 9-7, looking for that double-digit win, which we got last year, to get the 7th seed in the playoffs. The difference is this year, if we get it, we'll play a home game because it'll be the 4th seed, the last final division winner. Shannon, we know one of the biggest keys to this game is going to be the Steelers' ability to stop Derrick Henry. We saw in what they did to us in the rushing game last year in the first round of playoffs. It was in Baltimore. More specifically, what Derrick Henry did. What Lamar Jackson did too, because I think that early on that game, Lamar Jackson did a lot of RPO keepers in that game that really, I think, just demoralized the Steelers and opened it up for the rest of the game to be just humiliated. If Lamar Jackson plays, it's cold night, coming off a leg injury, had hamstring issues. I think maybe he's a less effective runner. But even Lamar Jackson beats you. He hadn't beat anybody all year with his legs. I think the absolute key is stop Derrick Henry, make Lamar Jackson. If he's going to run on your bad leg, but make Lamar Jackson beat you from the pocket. Shannon, your thoughts on the defense and what they need to do in this critical game?
Yeah, stopping the run is priority number one. You cannot let Henry get going. He is as I talked about Metcalf and Washington being freaks, Henry is, there's no other running back in NFL history like him. Jim Brown was a large running back, a large man. Earl Campbell, there's been power backs. Eddie George was a large man, but none of them had the combination that George has. I mean Henry, when he gets going and he starts getting ahead of steam and them strides, if you let him hit that second step and he doesn't have to hesitate and he hits the line, it's automatic 5-6 yards because he's just going to drag guys. So to me, that's priority. Like the Packers played like they've never seen the Ravens play before. I mean, they were not prepared for Henry at all. And then you throw in the fact that Huntley can run the ball as well. They just got abused. So the Steelers are going to have to sell out to stop Henry and then live with the consequences. Now, if Huntley or Jackson can hit Flowers enough, Bateman enough, Andrews, you're just going to have to hope that you get some tips, some fumbles, some turnovers to slow them down. Try to bend but don't break. But it's going to be a slow death if they allow Henry to get going. The good news is the Joe Green Award winner for Rookie of the Year hopefully will be in again, Derek Harmon. The guy is he's been a godsend. When he plays, the defense is totally different, especially the rush defense. And let's be honest, it wasn't the defense's fault that they lost that game against the Browns. They just had no offensive game plan or identity at all that game. But the defense, it wasn't terrible. They played a solid game. Again, with Harmon in there, I feel much better about the rush defense. So that's what I expect to see first and foremost is them a concerted effort to slow Henry down. Don't let him get started.
No, I would agree with you. After your thoughts on them, what the defense needs to do.
Well, without Harmon, we're like 26th in the league in yards per carry. With Harmon, we're first in the league for yards per carry. So that makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar did practice this week or today, and they're trying to get him back, but he is coming off of a back injury. So I don't know how comfortable he's going to be running, and I don't know how comfortable he's going to be throwing. So I think either way, Henry, no matter which quarterback plays, Henry's going to have a bigger workload. Last time we faced them, we held Henry to 94 yards, and Zay Flowers got I think it was 124. So we just need our defense to, execute, do the fundamentals, don't get cute, just stop the run. And, Joey Porter hasn't given up a touchdown since 2023. So I'd put him on Flowers and see what happens.
They usually don't match him up with Flowers, though.
Yeah, he's more the big. They'll put him on D-Hop or maybe even Mark Andrews. But yeah, they usually put a little more shifty slot guy. Like that'll probably be Asante Samuel's assignment or Eccles if he's back.
Porter don't like the little fast, shifty guys. So they usually have him on Henry, or like if you notice a lot of times when Chase was going wild, you think, he's your number one cornerback. Move Porter over on Chase. They don't. They leave him on Henry or on the other their number 3 receiver, the guy at a Princeton. I can't think of his name. Yeah.
Yoshi Vosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so that would be the only problem with that is I just don't see Porter matching up with Flowers because he struggles with those things.
Yeah, the Steelers is we're going to let Joey Porter take your number 2 off the board by itself. And then we'll scheme and double and do what we got to do against your number 1.
They need Eccles to be healthy.
Eccles needs to
match
healthy.
up with Flowers this week. That's what they really need.
Eccles is trending up, but I don't want to rely on Clark. That's for sure.
No, not Clark.
I don't want to see Clark. We stuttering.
Well,
we don't want to see George Cooper Clark. What's his name?
Curious George.
Yeah, that's what
Chuck
G
Clark,
called it.
Sorry.
Chuck Clark. Yeah, I was
Clark,
looking up with G's name.
If you watch, Clark makes some plays coming forward. He's a downhill player. But if you ask him to cover, especially anything over the top, or he no longer has the speed and mobility to do that. Now, if he can attack coming forward,
Clark
he's
can
much better.
hit.
Yeah,
and I love watching him hit. But and if that's all he had to do, I would love having him out there. But that is not all he has to do.
No, that's not all.
That's not all, but that's going to be a big role in this game, though, to stop the run. Baltimore receivers don't scare me. I mean, so you'll see him. We don't want to see him in coverage. We might see him in 3rd and 4. We don't want to see you in 3rd and 12, though. No, not at all.
But that's why the Pierre playing is so important.
That's important
because Pierre is a very good tackler, and Samuels is not. Samuels is the cover guy. And Pierre, I think, will be a better matchup and better in the run defense against Henry.
Yeah, against Baltimore. I mean, because Baltimore don't have receivers to scare you. I mean, and Pierre can guard Andrews or Likely. So can Porter. I mean, as far as in the passing game.
Yeah.
Eccles is key to be back. I'd like to see Jalen Ramsey get some spy opportunities on Lamar Jackson. Just let him be that chess piece. Let him come up, drop back. Let him do, different things. Give them different things to look at. I see Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen being huge in this game, but you also see a lot of Holcomb and Harrison also against Derrick Henry. You're gonna see those guys.
Well, Ramsey's very important, as you say, because he's really physical. He's really good against the run as well. He's very smart. But when against Cleveland, they had to move him out and put him in the slot, and they had to move him away from safety. And, again, as we said, Clark, he give up some plays when he's got to be out there too much. So it would be great if Eccles is back, Pierre's back. Then you could just leave Ramsey where he needs to be.
Agreed. The defensive line is key, is huge.
Yep.
I'm expecting Cam to show up because I think this means a lot to everybody, but I know it really internally means something to Cam. He wants this opportunity this year to win a playoff game because he hasn't won one in maybe he's won 3 games in his career, but it's 15-year-long career, and you won 3 playoff games maybe at most.
And 2 of them in the same year.
Yeah. So I think it's big to him. I think Harmon is just a beast. I think Harmon would be in line for defense rookie of the year if he hadn't missed 4 games.
Yeah.
Right now, I think that's going to go to the Browns linebacker, Schlesinger.
Yeah.
He has a lot of tackles and stuff like that.
Oh, he's a good player. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good player. Very good player. Yeah. And Keanu Benton hasn't been bad in the run game like he was the first 12 weeks. He settled down a little bit. You get YA out there and Jack Sawyer. I think the Steelers, this is what they went for in the draft, Shannon and Afton.
Yeah.
That game against Baltimore last year in the playoffs led to what they did in the draft, led to what they wanted this defense to be. It didn't work with their cover guys against the Bengals that first game. So will the moves they made, because they made their moves for in-division play. For Baltimore and their receivers, bringing in Slade, bringing in Ramsey, and these different pieces they brought in, and the defensive front aspect of it, getting bigger guys and getting younger guys up front with Harmon and Black and Sawyer is because of the Baltimore matchups. So we'll see if the one far as geared to stop the run, if it looks any different than it did last January in the first round of the playoff wildcard round.
I think that
I thought we played the Bills last year.
That was the year before.
No.
I think that Benton has a big target on his back. This is a prove it game, in my opinion, for Benton. They've been using him different, lining him up different, letting him get some penetration. He doesn't engage or take on double teams well at all. But they're using him different. And whoever they have lined up next to him, whether it's Harmon, Black, they're the ones taking up a lot of double teams and filling running lanes. But Benton's going to have to step up big time this game. And not, he'll flash early in games, if you ever notice. He gets his sacks early in games or early in the third quarter. And I don't know if he wears down or teams adjust. I don't know what it is, but he usually starts games or halves better than he finishes them. But they're going to need him to really be a force this week. And as you say, Benton, Black, and Harmon, that's what's going to be the difference if that Steelers can stop the run this week or not.
Yeah, no, I agree. Those guys gotta play. I mean, and I think you see the rotation also. I think you see all of the edge rushers, all of the linebackers. When I say all, I mean four. I mean Queen, Wilson, Holcomb, and Harrison. Yeah. I think you see Herbig, Watt, because TJ's, if he's back, gonna come off injury, so he's not gonna play every snap. He's gonna play critical pass rushing snaps, stuff like that. So you'll still see all four edge rushers: Sawyer, Herbig, TJ, and Highsmith. We need Highsmith to have a big game, play like he played last week against the run, against the Browns,
and
against
the best
Detroit.
Player.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row on defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see that Highsmith. We need to see TJ, even though he's coming off the collapsed lung injury. Hopefully that's all good, but he should look fresh. He should look fresh. If it's okay, if his lung is okay, and that has no effect on it, he should look fresh because he's rested for about 4 weeks now, almost.
Yep.
He last played, I believe, December 4th. So that'll be a month ago. So yeah, so I'm hoping that. I agree, Shannon. Eccles is critical. Defense plays better when Eccles is out there. I felt like, I don't know what happened. He got lost. Duggar in that game against the Browns, I felt like that. I thought that Fannin touchdown pass was going to be interception, just the way the ball was thrown.
Should have been, yeah.
Should have been, yeah. I think it was just hung up there. So,
I think he said he lost it in the air. He lost track of the ball.
Yeah, you can tell he didn't see it, yeah.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. And that's the only touchdown the defense gave up. And that was in that accident touchdown. But so
Herbig had a walk-in pick six and just dropped it. I mean, when you get a chance, we talked about, I always say turnovers are fluky. But when you get a chance to an obvious turnover, especially an obvious pick six, Sawyer, he had to kind of wait for blockers to get in front of him. He got caught from behind. But Herbig, it was wide open. He would have just went straight in.
And it was 20 yards away.
Yeah, he got too excited. I think he got too excited. I got this. It's the pick six. That would have changed everything. But
I agree.
They can't miss opportunities right now because they've just got so many holes and they're kind of at a disadvantage. They got to take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself. So I think that hopefully Harrison don't knock himself out this time because he was so excited. He got concussed when he played Baltimore last time because he was slobber knocking people. And hopefully he could be very physical this game because he's important against Henry. but without knocking yourself out.
Right. No, I agree. So we've kind of just talked about all the different keys to the game, what the offense needs to do versus what they have been doing, what the defense needs to do, because we all agree definitely on defense is stop Derrick Henry first, second, and third on the list, I believe. Last question, then we'll go ahead and give our score predictions. Do you guys see either of these coaches win or lose on the hot seat? Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh?
I think they're both on the hot seat. Whether or not anything actually comes of it is another question. But I think they're both on the hot seat, win or lose, because their performance this season and for the past couple of seasons has not been top tier.
So I totally agree with Hampton. I think that Harbaugh, you know how much I love Harbaugh. Harbaugh could have, would have, should have been gone when he went, he just said, okay, we're replacing Flacco. We're going to go with Lamar Jackson. I'm going to roll the dice and no looking back, because either it was going to work or he was gone, because they had already got rid of some people, the offensive coordinator, and Harbaugh was next. And then it worked out, and Jackson wins MVPs a couple of times, and they've, it's kind of saved his bacon, so to speak. Even though if you really look back, there's a lot of times the Ravens either win the division or they don't make the playoffs. That's common for them. But Harbaugh, there's always been excuses. But now the excuses are running out. And Jackson's really past his prime. And where do you go from here? Well, the same thing about Tomlin. This is the first time I think that a lot of people are waking up to the situation that Tomlin, they see where he's not up to par. The same weaknesses that's really never changed. The inability to hire quality coordinators. He micromanages, just so many different things. The Tomlin specials, which we get, what is it now? 4-1 since 2020, which is incredible. The teams that are at least 8 games under 500. So, when you lose, that's your bottom dwellers. That's the true definition. If you're under 8 games under 500 at any point in the season, you're picking in the top 5. So, and he's lost 4 times, tied once, and not beat any of them. So that's a problem. So that comes back to coaching. And this team and the franchise has a lot of issues, but there's one issue I know they can take care of and they can fix if Tomlin decides to get on with his life's work, whatever or wherever that may be, and, turn over a new leaf. And I think that the majority of Steelers fans is ready for that.
Yeah, I can see that. Harbaugh, I think, would be in more trouble. I mean, and this has been an awkward year for both teams. I mean, but Harbaugh's had the 2, should have been, I believe, 3-time MVP Lamar Jackson. He's had a guy. Tomlin hasn't had a guy. I was saying earlier, I believe at the beginning of Smash the Gas, we were backstage after with Curb, that look what Kenny Pickett's doing now. Look what Russell Wilson's doing now. Look what Justin Fields is doing now. Mason Rudolph, we saw him one time this year, well, twice, but after the second time, didn't see him anymore. These are the quarterbacks we've had, and older Big Ben when all this streak started. So I believe that Harbaugh's losing with a guy and getting to the playoffs and not winning. Tom's is getting to the playoffs and not winning with no guy. So I think there's a difference in that. Do I think either one of them could be gone? I think the franchises, because how they're run, both of them are great, well-run franchises over the last, well, for the Steelers, 50 years. Over the Ravens, pretty much since their inception of moving to Baltimore because of Ozzie Newsome and ownership and some of those things like that. They've been a well-run organization also. But yeah, so I think both teams would have the decency and courtesy not to fire either one of the guys, but where it's negotiated, they decide and they let them walk away. So I think if something happens, if a move is made, it'll be like that on both sides. But yeah, I can't say that it'll happen, but maybe both of them are tired and want to go just call it a career or take some time off and try again somewhere else in another year or two. They're both relative. Tomlin's younger than Harbaugh. Harbaugh's probably about 58, 60, somewhere around there.
Yeah. And there, Claude had a super chat on there, Tate.
Thanks. Shannon, because I didn't see it and Claude would have been at me. Claude said, "This has been a great show, you three. Happy New." Thanks, Claude. Certainly appreciate the super. Certainly appreciate you in 2025. And before that, Claude, be sure to rock with us in 2026. And you know what, Claude? We got to shake the matrix up, man. We might have to give you a weekend pass sometime. You know, you got to fill out your itinerary and stuff and sign out. We got to know where you at. We might let you out into the world, Claude, because you've been good the past 2-3 months, I dare say. But yeah, shout out to the homie Claude, man. Happy New Year's to us, he's saying, to everybody we work with, to everybody in the live chat, and to his Matrix Nation. Thanks, Claude. We certainly appreciate it. Shane, I thank you for calling that to my attention because I didn't see it because I was on the media asset side of things. But yeah, so yeah, with that being said, guys, let's make our score predictions. I'll go first. Well, maybe one of you guys want to go first because I have to take control with Shannon and Big G because Big G always tries to make Shannon go first every time. All right, Shannon, you go. Like so I don't know if we had that problem. That's why I'm used to just saying I'll go first, then I'll let them figure it out. So I can go first if you guys want. Tell you what I think real quick.
I don't care. So y'all decide.
Afton?
I'll go. Mine's going to be quick.
Okay.
22-19 Ratbirds.
Okay. And
because everything's just going to be weird.
I think we saw some instances when they're back against the wall. They had to win the game in Ireland. They won the game against the Colts. They went into Detroit as underdogs, beat Detroit. I mean, the Steelers don't typically lose these games, though. Baltimore is different. They typically win the games they're not supposed to win and lose the games they're supposed to win. So, with that being said, I'm going to say the Steelers at home because of the crowd, because of Steeler Nation, because the defense is going to step up like we haven't seen a performance all year and get this win. If the offense is efficient and communicates well and makes good play calls, Shannon, like you. So, combination with both you talked about collectively on offense. And the Steelers win this game 20-14.
Okay, well, there's so many things. I wish they could move it to Monday night because the Steelers play really good Monday night. But
they do at home, especially. Yeah,
the primetime games have not been kind to the Steelers. But I can't get past the fact that, as you say, people are calling this a playoff game because it is. And I have no faith in Tomlin in any playoff game. I don't have faith in this coordinators and the Steelers just hopelessly get out coached every time it comes to a playoff situation. This is a little different where it's a divisional opponent. The familiarity's there. There's not going to be any surprises. There's not, but again, legacy guys win. Legacy guys have a legacy because they won and they played big games in the playoffs at big moments. We've been spoiled with that in Pittsburgh. I mean, my whole life, and I've been a fan for a long time. I don't see it with these guys. I hate it. I want them to win so bad, but I think they're going to come up short. I agree more with Afton's prediction. I will say 24-20, the Ravens.
That doesn't surprise me. from you guys as Afton picked the 42-9 loss against the Lions. And Shannon, you had it blow out. So, hey, Steeler Nation, we're good.
And hopefully they do. So.
Oh yeah, Shannon will pick against him. I always say, I hope I'm wrong. But
yep.
So that
exactly.
works sometimes. Yeah, that works sometimes. I'm like the homie Jeff Hartman. I'm in my Steelers bag for 17 straight games now. So remember the schedule release show, Shannon? I had him going 14-3.
Yeah, I remember. Yes.
Yeah. So
and I think I was 10-7 or 11-6.
Yeah, you're right.
But I can't remember which now.
About what they are now.
Yeah.
But at one time, that was one time a month ago, you said they're gonna have a losing season.
Oh, I didn't think they would win another game. After the Chargers game, I thought it was done.
Right.
But they rallied. The Fire Tomlin chance, I'm telling you, helped them circle the wagon, so to speak.
Yeah.
But they need something to rally them again.
Yeah. So hopefully the home playoff game, you Steeler Nation, you fans out there, and us getting behind the guys, and let's go get this one. So any final 2025 messages for our audience, Shannon or Afton? That's Shafton. Could combine you guys together, call you Shafton.
Shafton.
Anything you want to say to our audience for 2025?
I just want everyone to have a happy new year, and remember that no matter who wins the game, nobody died. Just keep breathing.
This is true. Shannon?
I just want to say thank you to the community for the support. That's why we do it. And I hope everybody has a safe and happy new year and a blessed 2026. I'm looking forward to it. More podcasts, more conversations. I try to go on the chats even after, when people's after the show, and I'll continue to try to answer questions because I always appreciated the people who did that with me before I got into all this. So, yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for the support. God bless and be safe.
Definitely. And I agree with both of you guys. Athens, right? Remember, no one should be killed in a football game. So that's a thing. Now, I've seen boxing and unfortunately some guys, in that sport's more violent maybe. But I would love to see a Raven get killed with a big hit. Derrick Henry get Robert Spillane again. I'd love to see that. But with that being said, yeah, this is the end of 2025. Let's all be blessed and go into 2026 with a prosperous 2026. Have a plan going forward. Have a positive mindset because you kind of reap what you think. So if you keep that positive energy, keep a positive spirit and a positive prayer message, everything will be okay. Might not be perfect, but it'll be okay because you only get what you can handle. So that's my message. With that being said, for the Pump Your Brakes podcast, for the final show of 2025, hopefully our first show of 2026 is talking about a playoff matchup. But until then, enjoy the night. We are 4 hours and 48 minutes away from 2026. Go ahead and go watch that Ohio State Miami football game. The first big week of college football playoffs. About to go enjoy that. See if I can make myself a snack. And we'll be back here. Yeah, next time. I don't know when that is. We're supposed to do our Know It All's Pick'em show tomorrow, but I haven't talked to G or Mott, so I don't know. But with that being said, we'll talk to you guys next time. For myself, Afton, Shannon, see you guys next time. We out. Peace.
Let's go.
Mamba out.
Y'all come back now. Here